Einstein said you should read fairy tales, and when you finish reading some fairy tales, read some more. I wrote 10,000 words about fairy tales for my dissertation, and I'm going to read you a story about how tinsel came about. It's from Ukraine and Germany. Tinsel for the tree. It's called The Spider's Christmas, so this is just a quiet story for you to relax. The Spider's Christmas. It was Christmas Eve and the children were cleaning the house for Santa. "But he comes down the chimney," said the smallest girl. "He's covered in soot. He won't care if our house is dusty or not. He won't even notice." "Yes, he will," said his mother. "I want our house to be the cleanest, tidiest, shiniest house in the whole village. So pick up those socks." And the children tidied and dusted and polished and mopped all day. "I don't want to see any dust or dirt, any cobwebs or fluff," said their mother cheerfully. "Christmas is hard work," said the smallest boy. "Cobwebs," called out her mother. "I see cobwebs on the ceiling." So the biggest girl climbed the ladder and the biggest boy held it steadily. She flicked with a feather duster until the cobwebs vanished. A family of spiders were hiding in the darkest corner of the ceiling, and as the dust and the cobwebs were swept out of the house, the little spider whispered, "Where will we live now? If those huge people flick our webs away, where will we live?" The mother spider said, "Don't worry. The big clean only lasts one day and we can weave more webs once the winter festival is over. But watch what happens next." And the little spiders watched as the children's father arrived with a tall, green, sharp-needled tree. The smell of the outdoors followed the tree into the house. The children clapped and cheered and got in the way, while their father put up the tree in the bucket and jammed stones around the tree to keep it upright. And then the biggest boy held the ladder again and the little spiders crept deeper into the corner. "It's fine," said their mother. "They're not coming here again. Look." And the children were hanging glass globes, gingerbread men and little metal drums from branches of the great green tree. They put a bright star, gleaming like the rest of the house, on the very top of the tree. And then the whole family stood in a circle round the tree and sang lots of happy songs. And finally they all went upstairs to bed. "Hurry up," said the children's mother. "You want to be asleep before Santa comes down the chimney." And the spider gazed at the tree. "It's magic," said the littlest spider. "It's like we've a forest in our house." "Go to sleep," said the mother spider. "We'll need lots of energy to weave more webs." But when she fell asleep, the little spider stayed awake, looking at the tree. "Let's go closer," said the biggest baby spider. And they swung down on their spider silk from the rafters to the top of the tree. And then the little spiders played on the tree. And they waved at their reflections in the glass globes, played marching tunes on the tiny drums with their little feet, and danced round the gingerbread men. They leapt from branch to branch, singing the songs they'd heard the family sing, and played hide and seek behind the dark green needles. And they climbed up to the shiny star, daring each other to perch on the highest point. And then they challenged each other to an abseiling race from the star to the bucket. And as they dared and danced and raced and played, the little spiders left a maze of delicate spider silk all over the tree. Long lines of white zigzagging round the tree, winding round the branches. And then suddenly they heard a thump and a creak, and a big man in a red suit landed in front of the fireplace. And the baby spiders hid deep in the shadows of the tree, right up against the trunk. Santa Claus walked up to the tree and looked at the pale threads chasing around it, and he laughed. And he looked around the clean, gleaming, shiny house and said, "Let's make it all shine." And he touched the nearest thread of spider silk, and it glowed silver. Santa nodded, and then he ran his gloved hand down another strand, and then all the spider silk round the tree gleamed like silver. The whole tree shone. And then Santa bent down and peered between the branches and winked at the little spiders. And once he'd filled all the stockings on the mantelpiece, he clambered back up the chimney, and the little spiders scampered back to the ceiling to snuggle up beside their mother. And the next morning, when the family came downstairs, they found their presents, and they also found their tree covered in the very first tinsel. And ever since that day, children in the Ukraine and Germany have decorated Christmas trees with strings of shiny tinsel, but they also hide a little toy spider deep inside the branches.
Oh.